Throughout history, there has been countless stories of ships lost at sea, but few remain as chilling and perplexing as the tale of the Mary Celeste. Abandoned in the middle of the ocean, her crew mysteriously vanished without a trace. In today's video, we will explore the history of the Mary Celeste, the theories surrounding the eerie abandonment, and the investigations that followed. Stick with us as we unravel the secrets behind one of the most famous unsolved maritime mysteries of all time. The Mary Celeste was a 282-ton brigantine built in 1861 at the shipyards of Deaf Smith and Company in Spencer's Island, Nova Scotia. Designed as a sturdy cargo vessel for transatlantic trade, the Mary Celeste was considered by most to be a ship of promise. Throughout her early career, she had performed admirably. On paper, this was a reliable, well-maintained ship, so why did she end up abandoned in the middle of the ocean, drifting without a crew? On November 7, 1872, Captain Benjamin Briggs, an experienced and highly respected sailor, set sail aboard the Mary Celeste from New York Harbor. Accompanying him on the voyage were his wife, Sarah, and their 2-year-old daughter, and a crew of 7 men. The ship's destination was Genoa, Italy, carrying a valuable cargo of 1,701 barrels of denatured alcohol. It was a routine journey, and the ship was fully stocked with provisions. Everything seemed to be in order as the Mary Celeste sailed out into the Atlantic, but 17 days later, on December 4, 1872, the Dea Greta, a nearby vessel under Captain David Morehouse, encountered the Mary Celeste drifting in the middle of the Atlantic about 400 miles west of the Azores Island. The ship was under full sail, but the crew was missing. The Dea Greta's crew boarded the Mary Celeste to investigate, finding the ship in good condition, yet completely abandoned. When they boarded the Mary Celeste, the ship's condition was puzzling. Cargo hold was intact, and the ship's supplies was mostly untouched. The crew's personal belongings were also left behind, including valuable items like watches and clothing. There were no signs of struggle, no blood, and no obvious signs of violence. It appeared that the crew had left in a hurry. But why? What happened to them? Over the years, numerous theories have been proposed to explain the mysterious abandonment of the Mary Celeste. Let's dive into the most prominent ones. One of the first theories to gain traction was that the Mary Celeste's cargo of industrial alcohol was to blame. This cargo was highly flammable, and some have speculated that the alcohol fumes might have built up in the hold, creating an atmosphere of danger. If the fumes were strong enough, they could have caused the crew to panic, fearing an explosion. In the chaos, the crew may have abandoned the ship in a hurry. This theory gained traction because during the time, there were reports of similar incidents involving alcohol vapors. However, no signs of a leak or vapors were found, and the cargo was intact when the Mary Celeste was discovered. So, this theory remains controversial. Despite the theory's appeal, it is not fully explained why the crew would leave the ship if there was no immediate danger, or why they left behind their personal belongings. Another theory revolves around the idea that the crew mistakenly believed that the Mary Celeste was sinking. At the time, many ships had problems with water seepage into the hold, which could make it appear that the ship was in danger of sinking. If the crew noticed even a small amount of water in the hold, it might have panicked, fearing the ship would go down. In a moment of crisis, they may have decided to abandon ship. This theory suggests that the crew, unable to judge the actual danger, fled in the ship's lifeboat. However, when the Mary Celeste was found, the ship was still afloat, and there were no significant leaks found in the hull. Another suggestion is that the crew might have been the victims of piracy or mutiny. Some believe that the crew may have been attacked by pirates who forced them to abandon ship. However, Mary Celeste was found with its cargo intact, and there were no signs of violence or any attempt to steal from the ship. Additionally, the ship's log, which was found aboard, showed no signs of any trouble or conflict among the crew before they vanished. So while piracy and mutiny are possible, they don't fully explain the mystery. While mutiny or pirate attack may seem likely in some cases, the lack of evidence for either makes this theory less convincing. Some more fantastical theories involve supernatural or alien explanations. Over the years, some have proposed that the disappearance of the Mary Celeste could be the result of paranormal activity or even alien abduction. These theories tap into the mysterious atmosphere surrounding the ship and the inexplicable nature of the crew's disappearance. While these theories are certainly creative, there is no evidence to support them. A more recent theory suggests that a natural phenomenon might have played a role in the crew's disappearance. One possibility is the occurrence of a water spout or an underwater vortex, which could have caused the ship to take on water unexpectedly, leading the crew to panic. This theory suggests that the ship could have suffered a small breach in the hull that wasn't immediately noticeable, but enough to convince the crew to abandon ship. This theory is supported by scientific research into a similar phenomenon, which can sometimes cause ships to capsize or experience sudden flooding. After the Disappearance crew discovered the Mary Celeste, a formal investigation was conducted in Gibraltar. The inquiry found the ship to be in remarkably good condition, with no signs of damage, mutiny, or foul play. The logs indicated that the last entry had been made 10 days prior to the discovery, and there were no signs of distress. The ship's compass and chronometer were found to be in perfect working order. However, the fate of the crew remained a mystery. One significant detail was the lifeboat. It had been launched, but it was missing. The crew's personal items, including Sarah Briggs' wedding ring, were also gone, suggesting they had taken the lifeboat and abandoned the ship willingly. Yet their fate remains unknown. Did they get lost at sea? Were they swept away in a storm? Did they encounter another vessel? Or did something else happen to them? So after all these years, we still don't have an answer to the mystery of the Mary Celeste. Was it a mistake, a misjudgment, or something more sinister? Despite the investigation and countless theories, the fate of Captain Briggs, his family, and his crew remain one of the greatest unsolved mysteries of the sea. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the eerie disappearance of the Mary Celeste, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts on what really happened to the crew, and if you have any theories of your own. Until next time, keep your curiosity alive and keep exploring the mysteries of the world.